Louisiana Beer Reviews, Special Edition, Schlitz the Bull, High Gravity Revisited. So, this was never sold in my part of Louisiana until about 2 weeks ago. It suddenly showed up at Mathern's Market. I was shocked because I never thought I'd see it here, just based on the fact that for the 17 years since it was introduced in 2005, it never showed up. So we could find it if we went on road trips, me and friends, say 100 miles west of here, starting around Lafayette, Louisiana, between there and all the way to San Antonio, Texas. We used to get the Blue Bull, you know, the original Schlitz malt liquor. But then that disappeared largely or totally from New Orleans, although the distributor, their website is saying that it is available at a few stores, isolated stores that I've not visited. The old website for Schlitz malt liquor, which is no longer posted by Pabst, said that it was charcoal filtered and it used, I think, 4 malt varieties, 5 hop varieties. I don't know the IBUs, I couldn't find that. Maybe around 17 just to compensate for the sweetness. So 8.5% alcohol. It says the Stroh Brewery Company. Yeah, okay, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's really Miller Brewing in Milwaukee because they do the contract for this. And it says right here, the legal disclosure of malt liquor. A high gravity brew with tremendous flavor for those who appreciate a full-body malt beverage. Since 1849, Schlitz. Well, the company Schlitz. Yeah, not the bull. Okay. Schlitz malt liquor bull was introduced in 1965. I got a Schlitz glass. I broke one of my Schlitz glasses yesterday accidentally. One of those hourglass shaped ones. So accidentally hit it like this and it fell over. And I said, whoa, it didn't break. I was lucky. Let me pick it up. I said, let me pick it up and go put it in by the sink. And I hit it again. And it shattered that time. So I said, well, if it's a glass I like, I'm going to break it. This Schlitz glass was what I should have used yesterday when I was drinking some beer because it's a collectible, but it's a mug, and it's a lot less likely to tumble over. Some of those glasses, those beer glasses, they're just not sturdy. Well, they're not sturdy because they're thin glass, but they tumble easily is what I mean to say. Okay, so Beer Advocate, rate beer on tap. You know, of course, they're not going to like this beer. They're going to say very bad things about it based on the people giving reviews. Get a thick, very thick white head and a crystal clear golden appearance. Put that up there showing various can designs. You will find this in quart bottles, 22-ounce bottles, quart bottles, 40-ounce bottles from time to time. I found even 12-ounce Schlitz malt liquor bottles. That's very rare. I have one in my collection. But typically they're in cans. 6-pack like I bought, $6.02 after tax for the 6-pack, after tax. And even more common, I suppose, are the single, well, these 24-ounce C-store cans, as they call them, convenience store cans. Okay. Yeah, it's like fermented cereal grains, various barley malts, the corn syrup, right, as the filler, hops, yeast, of course, water. It's a nice appearance, and the aroma's nice. So it's a good beer in appearance and aroma so far. Now I prefer the 5.9. It's milder, more suitable to what I drink. But I thought, well, it'd be nice to get one 6-pack. I can drink them over the next few weeks or months because the best by date is May 23rd of 2023. So it's an extremely fresh offering here. All right, let's go to taste. Cheers. 8.5 is really strong, and in fact, and like I say, to me, too strong. But there's two other variants. You might find Schlitz XL, the red can, introduced in 1984, also 5.9. Very similar to the blue, but it's got, like they say, extra long finish, you know, like a little sweeter finish. You have more aftertaste hanging with you. And then there's an extremely rare Schlitz Bull Ice. Ice Bull, it's an ice brewed malt liquor beer. And I've only found that on 2 occasions. A can, 24-ounce can, in a quart bottle in Florida. Last time I did a solo review of this was 2014. Did a dual review with my friend David. We were very pleased with it. We did an examination of this in 2022, and we all will enjoy it. But like I said in the examination, it's just not my type of thing. High medium body, but not heavy body, but high medium. Dry or crisp finish, not too sweet of a finish. If I was looking to buy a high gravity malt liquor, high gravity lager, and I wouldn't be looking to do that, but if I was, Schlitz Gold Bull would probably be the one I'd reach for. It's got the most pleasant, smoothest taste. And in fact, that was the original name of it, Schlitz VSL, very smooth lager. VSL. And it is, if you take this and compare it to, say, like the 8.1% Steel Reserve 211, there's no competition. This is much smoother. Compared to the 8.5% Colt 45 high gravity, much smoother product. That's a much rougher product. Also from Pabst. I know the can says Stroh Brewing, but Pabst bought Stroh Brewing Company in 1999, so it's just part of Pabst. And they don't even have any breweries. They sold off all the breweries. They just do product development, and they found it was more profitable for them to do contract brewing. It's fine with me. Okay, and since Miller had excess capacity, they weren't using their breweries full time, then they made a deal. They had a little falling out a couple of years ago, and there was a lawsuit filed, but it was settled before it ever went to trial, so they settled out of court, and they continued to do the contract. Those kind of things crop up from time to time in the big corporation. Beautiful lacing around. That's always a good sign with a beer. If this was a German beer without the corn products adjunct, the brewer's syrup, it would be called a Helles Doppelbock, okay? A bright double bock, a bright double goat beer. Bocks are supposed to be stronger than normal beer, whether they're dark, dunkel, or light Helles, or I say bright Helles. But some of these bocks you get in the United States are at 4.5%, so you're wondering what's the bock part about it. And then when you get a double bock over here that's 6%, yeah, it might taste really good, but it's not really proper. Doppelbock should really be coming in at the minimum like 6.5% at the low end, and 7.9, 8.5 at the high end. There is a famous Helles Doppelbock, the Abita Andigator. No adjunct. But it's actually not as smooth as this product, and I don't know if it's any better. It's a wonderful product. It can be a little hard sometimes to take because of that, what I call that strong barley burn. You know, pure barley. It sometimes has like a burn to it. But you never get that with this. Some people do like the corn or rice adjunct because they find it smooths out the beer and softens it. If you want to say it softens the product. Do you pick up any hop bitterness here? Not really. You have to search for it. So in the bitterness scale, it's going to be 1 out of 5 hop cones, okay? And is it even 1? Sweetness scale. I think we're looking at 3 out of 5 sugar cubes. So it's a sweeter than normal beer, but the good thing about it, the finish is dry. So, and it seems like incongruous, like it couldn't be that way, but it is. Bready flavor, like white bread crust. Don't really get a corn flavor because that corn turns into pure alcohol. Like that's what they'll tell you on Miller Coors website. They say there's no corn in the final product. It's part of the ingredients, but it's none left because the syrup totally ferments into pure alcohol. That's what they use to ferment the product, depending on how much they add. Corn is a very sugary, sweet product. In most cases. If it was rice kernels, like with Budweiser, then they just filter it out. You know, there's no solids left in the beer. And then the spent grains are sent off to farms for the cows to eat or whatever other animals. But since they're using syrup, the brewer's syrup, which you can't go to the store and buy that. Maybe at a homebrew shop, of course, probably. But it's just going to not disappear. It's going to reappear as pure alcohol, and that's how they're getting it to 8.5. It's got a little tanginess in it, and honestly, a little metallic. People will tell me constantly, there's no metal flavor with canned beers. It's a myth. This is not 1975 when they use aluminum cans and etc. The cans are lined anyway. The aluminum can, when it was steel cans, steel cans. Those used to be very metal tasting, but now everything's aluminum, and they're lined with like a vinyl substance to prevent that. But still, I guess it's vinyl. I don't know what the substance is, some kind of thing like that. Still, it's not that rare for me to drink a canned beer, macro like this, or micro, or middle crow, and to pick up some metallic. Is it in my mind? Is it like a psychosomatic thing where I know I'm drinking from a can and I'm tasting it? I don't think so. In this case, and usually it's always the case, it's a subtle thing. It's not a heavy thing. It's just something I pick up. So, beautiful looking product. Holding it like this so you can see the Schlitz thing. So, how do we score it? I don't want to drink from this side. I gotta watch that paint. I don't want to wear the paint off. Score. It's a flawless malt liquor, high gravity malt liquor. Honestly, there's really no negatives to it. Nothing. Not my type of drink. Like I said, 5.9, 6%, much more pleasant to me. The 6% Steel Reserve, Schlitz malt liquor, Mickey's fine malt liquor at 5.6, even nicer. Colt 45 at 5.6. But some people like these high gravity things. I wouldn't recommend drinking more than 1 can in a day. If you get a 24-ounce can, I'd say share it or drink it over a 5-hour period, put it back in the fridge. But that being said, I think I'm going to go with 92. That little metal pickup I had, which I'm not getting now, that takes it out of the solid A range, but still only drops it into the A-. So excellent with some reservations, but it's almost nothing to complain about. So Laissez Le Bon Temps Relais, Laissez Le Bon Temps Relais, an excellent beer. And there are a lot of excellent mass-produced beers. That's the truth. Ales or lagers. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all, go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and tour the Stroh Brewery. Well, no, it's going to be the Miller Brewery, and they give nice tours. I've been there a number of times, and it's really a fun trip. So they probably have this on off-tour hours. You know, when you go there, you're probably not going to see their contract brews being made. It'll all be like Molson Coors products, the parent company of Miller. So it'll be all of their stuff. That makes sense. So that's it. Thanks for watching.